Hey guys, welcome back to my channel Creative Hands by Shay. So in today's tutorial I will be showing you how to make a granny square bottom tote bag. So if you're new here, welcome, thank you for stopping by. I hope that you will love this tutorial and you'll be able to make one of your own. So if you're wondering why I have this big giant square here and it looks a bit wonky, I went ahead and I made a tutorial on how to do the square, so you can go ahead, I will link it next to this video, and you can watch that tutorial to see how to make that square. And I'm going to show you what that square looks like. So this is what it is in a smaller version. So for this one I did it a little bit different from this one, so I wanted to try it a different way, but you can continue to do it this way if you want to do it. So if you want to follow the same exact thing that I did in this tutorial, you can follow that. So for this tutorial, what I did, instead of working into my chain 3, which is here, so you can see my chain 3 here, so instead of working there, I just chain up 3 and make 2 double crochet into the space like this, and then I skip over that double crochet and start my next stitch into the next double crochet here, because we already made an extra double crochet right here. So we skip this one and start working here. So that's what I explained on how to do in this tutorial. So I tried it a different way to see how it would look, and it still turned out nice. So you can see it is still nicely done, just as this one. So if you want to do it this way, you can, or if you want to do it this nice seamless way as well, you can do it this way. So I'm just going to lay this aside and I'm going to show you how big my square is. So I did a total of 13 rows, and if you notice I have some stitch markers. So for each side I have a total of 52 stitches, and I divided that by 2, which will be 26. So I place my stitch marker at the 26th stitch here. So on this side is 26, on this side is also 26. So I'm just going to do my measurement so you can see. So that is measuring 11 inches in width, and that is all the way on either side there. So some people crochet a bit tighter, some crochet a bit looser, so if you get a little bit off, that's okay. So I am going to show you now how to make the body of the bag. So watch the tutorial on how to make the solid square first, and then you can come back to start this part. So but if you are aware of how to make the square, you can just go ahead and make your square. You're going to do a total of 13 rows, and once you're at your 13, then you can meet back with me and I'll show you how to do this part. So I already marked out my stitch marker, and the next thing, the bigger your square is, the bigger your bag will be. So if your square is smaller, your bag will get smaller, will be smaller at the end. So now what we're gonna do is I chain up my 3 here, and I place 1 double crochet already into my space there, and I am just gonna go ahead and make my next double crochet into that chain of 3, because this is the way how I'm doing it with this square. So I'm just going to continue doing it the same, and now I'm going to place 1 double crochet into the next, continue making 1 double crochet until you get to your second to last stitch. So you're not going to work into this stitch. Once you get to here, I will meet back with you. Guys, now I have come to where my stitch marker is, and I have 1 stitch here remaining. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip this stitch, skip the stitch marker, we're going to skip the stitch after the stitch marker, you're going to yarn over, and you're going to make a double crochet into this stitch here. So let me just explain that again. So this is your last stitch before your stitch marker. You're going to skip the one on the stitch marker, then the one after the stitch marker, and then start your stitch in the next stitch here. And then just continue to make double crochet all the way until you get to the next corner. Once you get to the next corner, you will repeat the same exact thing, making your 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, chain 2, and then 2 double crochet, and then continue working all the way until you get to here. I will meet you back here. and I'll show you how to do it. Guys, now I am back to where our next stitch marker is. So I have my stitch here, which I'm going to skip. Now we're going to skip the one on the stitch marker there, and we're going to skip the one after the stitch marker, yarn over and go into the next stitch there and place your double crochet. So you're technically eliminating 3 stitch. And guys, all the materials will be in the description box, so you can see the amount of yarn and stuff that I use for this tutorial. And I'm using my 4.5mm crochet hook, so make sure you check that out. Sorry if I didn't mention that before. Let me just fix this. Okay, perfect. So I'm basically gonna kind of just continue doing this all the way around, and once I get to the end I will meet back with you. So there. So guys, now I have come to the end, and I'm just gonna chain 1, then single crochet into our chain up 3 there. Now that I have single crochet there, I'm going to chain up 1, 2, and 3. Go back into the same space there and place 1 double crochet. Yarn over, go into the chain, the previous chain up 3 from the previous row, which is your double crochet. You're going to make your double crochet there, and don't lose this stitch. You're going to make your next double crochet, and you're just basically going to continue doing double crochet until you get to your last 3 stitches before the one where we have our stitch marker here. So continue to work until you have 1, 2, 3 stitches left back here. And so guys, now I have come back to where we have our stitch marker here, and we are now going to be doing our decrease. So you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, insert your hook into the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now you have 3 loops in the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. And now you're going to skip 1, 2. So this is the stitch where we had with our stitch marker there. Into the next stitch, you are going to insert your hook, and we're going to do a decrease again. Sorry, let me just redo that. So yarn over, you're skipping 2 stitch, 1, 2, going to the 3rd, insert your hook there, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, going to the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3, and that completes our decrease there. And then you're just going to continue doing this, making your double crochets all the way around until you get back to where your next stitch marker is. And remember, you're leaving 3 stitches just before your stitch marker, and then you will do your decrease. I'll show you how to do it again. So I'll just continue to do this until I get to the next stitch marker, and I'll meet back with you. So guys, now I have come to where our next stitch marker is here, and we're just going to repeat the same thing. Yarn over, insert your hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over again, going to the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. Now you're skipping 1, 2 stitch, yarn over, going to the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, going to the next stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You have 3 loops in the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. And you're just basically going to repeat that all the way around. Once you're done doing your decreases, you will just continue making your 1 double crochet in each stitch until you get to your next stitch marker space again, and then you will just repeat the same exact thing. So I'm going to continue to do this, and I'll see you at the end of my row. So guys, now I have come back to the end, and I'm just gonna go ahead, chain my one, and then single crochet to finish off my row. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do 2 more rows of this color, and then once I'm done with that 2 rows, I am gonna change to another color. So just repeat the same exact thing as we were doing before, making your double crochets until you get to the last 3 stitches here just before our decrease one here. So the center one, I should say, just before the center one. So you're gonna finish off, you're gonna leave 1, 2, and 3 like that. So if you want to use a stitch marker to mark it, you can go ahead and do so, but make sure when you double crochet all the way down, make sure that you have 3 stitches remaining before this center one here. And you will just do your decreases as I showed you how to do it, and that you will do it on this side as well, and continue doing that until you get to 4 rows of doing this. So I will see you at the end of my 4 rows when I will be changing my color. Guys, now I've come to the end, chain my one there, and I'm gonna do my single crochet. But before I finish my single crochet, I am gonna change my color, and this is how you're gonna change your color. So you're gonna insert your hook, and then yarn over and do your single crochet, and then you can go ahead and give it a tie just to make sure that it is secured. Okay, so now that we have our single crochet there, we are going to chain up 1, 2, and 3. Yarn over, go into that space, and make your next double crochet. And then you are going to make 1 double crochet on top of that previous stitch, which is the chain up 3. And then into your next stitch. Remember, don't lose this stitch. It's gonna look wonky, but don't lose it, okay? And basically you are just gonna continue doing this same exact thing once you get close to where this center stitch is, which is 3 stitches. Once you get to your last 3 stitches, you will do your decrease and then skip over the 2 stitches here. So I'm just going to do it, and I will meet back with you and show you how to do it again. So I'll see you there. So guys, now I have come to my 1, 2, 3 stitch here. Now we're going to do our decrease. Three loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. Now you're going to skip 1, 2, yarn over, going to the next stitch, and do your decrease again. 2 loops on the hook, going to the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through all 3. And that's your decrease right there. And continue to do this all the way around until you get to the end. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put the color sequence on the screen so you can follow along of how I will be piping my bag with the colors. But you're basically repeating the same step over and over. The only difference is that we're changing colors, and you're going to change your color just as I showed you how to do it at the beginning here. So I'll let you know how many rows that I will be doing for each color, and until I get to the end of making the bag, I'll meet you there. Guys, now I have come to the end of making the body part of the bag here, and I did a total of 16 rows. So for this row here, I did 4 rows here because this yarn was a little bit thinner than the other ones, and I wanted the thickness to be the same as all of them, so I did 4 rows here. So again, I did a total of 16 rows. It's optional how many rows that you want to do, but this is the amount of rows that I did. So I did 3 rows of brown, 3 rows of orange, 4 rows of this shade of blue, 3 rows of this one, and 3 rows of the light blue. So now I am just gonna go ahead and chain 1 there, and then I'm gonna single crochet on top of my. So what I'm gonna do, instead of single crocheting, I'm gonna slip stitch and then chain 1, and then I'm gonna go ahead, go back into that same stitch and make a single crochet. So now we will be making single crochet into each and every stitch all the way around. So I'm gonna continue doing this until I get to where we did our decreases, and I'll meet back with you and I'll show you how to do that part. So guys, now I have come to where we have our where we did our decreases there. So we're basically gonna just go into each stitch right across and go all the way up. So just like that. Let me just do this one so you can see what it looks like. So we're not doing any more decreases, we're just placing 1 single crochet into each stitch. So there it is. So you're going to continue doing that all the way around until you get back to here, and I'll meet you there. Guys, now I have come to the end and I'm just making my last single crochet. And before I finish off my row, I am just going to insert my hook into my first single crochet there, and I'm going to change my color. This is the color that I am going to use for the strap. So I am just going to go ahead and attach that and fasten off from this one here. And give it a tie. Okay, so now that I have done so, I am going to chain 1, go back into that same stitch, and we're going to work over our tail end. So we're going to weave them in as we go along. So we're going to go ahead and go back into that same stitch and make 1 single crochet, and into each and every stitch again around you will place 1 single crochet. So I'm going to continue doing that, and I'll see you at the end, and I'll show you how to make the strap for the bag. So guys, now I have come to the end here, and I'm just going to make my last single crochet, and I'm going to fasten off here, pull up on my yarn, get my darning needle, and we're going to weave this in. So you're going to go through both loops on this side and then into the back loop on the other side, and put your needle all the way down like that to give it a nice clean finish. So there it is. Now you're going to go ahead and weave in the remainder tail end. Make sure that it is not showing on the other side, on the right side. Make sure that it is weaved in properly. Okay, so now we are just going to go ahead and fasten off here. And this is what it looks like so far. So now we are going to work on the straps, so you can see. So I'm going to lay the bag aside for now, and I'm going to show you what the strap looks like. So this is what it looks like. So I did the Romanian card strap here, and this is more firm, and it's not going to stretch too much for the strap, so you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to get your yarn thicker to make this. So what I did was to, I go like this. Hope you can see that well. So once you fold it like this, then you will go ahead and so once you fold it like this, you'll go ahead, grab this side there, grab the other side, and you're going to use your finger to pull through like this, and then you're just going to pull, and then you're just going to hold it like that. And then you will notice that your yarn starts to get thicker. So you're having like 3 strands there. And once you're at the end, you're just going to basically go again. Pull, and pull until you get to your desired amount. And you're going to work until you reach close to the end. And once you reach close to the end, you're just gonna grab this part again, pull through, and pull. I'm just showing it to you again. And then once you do that, you're just gonna go ahead like this, and it's still gonna continue having 3 strands. So I'm just gonna lay that aside for now. And we are going to make a slip knot. So let me just use my fingers to do this. Okay, so now that I have my slip knot there, we are going to go ahead. Sorry, I'm using the wrong size hook. I'm going to use a size 7 hook so that it is nice and bulky. So now we are going to chain up 1 and 2. Now that you have your chain 2 there, you are going to go into the first stitch and you're going to make a single crochet. I do have a tutorial on how to make this card, so I will link it next to this video. Once you do that, you're going to pull through. So once you have pulled through, you will see this loop here on the side. You're just going to turn your work just like this, insert your hook, make sure that you're going through all the loops, and make your single crochet again. Take your time and pull through, yarn over, pull through there. Then you're going to turn your work again. You're going to see these loops on the side there. So go through all those loops and pull through, yarn over, pull through, make your single crochet, turn your work again, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and pull through, turn your work again, go through the loops on the side, make sure that you're going through all those loops. If this looks confusing to you, you can go ahead and watch my other tutorial on how to do this. So you're just basically turning your work each time. So because we're working with a lot of strands, that's the reason why these look like this. So we have a total of like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 strands there once it clusters together. So you're going to make sure that you're going through all the loops, you're not leaving out anything, and just make your single crochet, turn your work again, and just basically continue to do this until you reach your desired length. And make sure that it matches with your other strap. Make sure that it's the same length and it's not longer or shorter. So I'm just going to continue doing this until I get to the end. Remember, you're continuing to turn your work until you reach to your desired length. And I'll let you know how long mine is. And then turn, and you can see it going on there. So I'm going to continue doing this, and I'll see you at the end. Guys, and now I have come to the end of making my other strap, and this is what it looks like. So I am just going to do the measurement so you can see how long this is. So it is measuring 18 inches in length. So that is where I'm going to stop, and make sure that your strap is measuring the same amount of inches. So I'm just going to pull through here. Chain, well, technically it will be my chain 1, And now I am just going to go ahead and fasten off. So I'm going to leave a long tail end because I'm going to need it to wrap on my bag. So I'm going to put about there so you can see the amount. Make sure that you have enough and not too less. Okay, so there it is. And now I'm going to get my bag, and I already installed one of my strap, and this is what it looks like so far. This is how I did it, and I'm going to show you how to do the other strap. So you're just going to place your bag down like this, and you are going to make sure that your strap is not twisted, and you're just going to place it behind, and you're going to go down 2 of these holes down. So 1, 2. So let me show you from behind what it looks like. So 1, 2 here, so it's gonna fall right here. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna get your darning needle and you're gonna sew. So I'm gonna use this piece to sew it down. So I'm just gonna cut this into 2 and the string on my needle. And you're gonna hold your work into place so that it does not move. So make sure that you hold it down just like this. And I'm just gonna go ahead and pick up on my stitches just a little. Make sure that it is not showing on the right side. And you're gonna take your time. Don't pull too tightly because you don't want to pull up. You don't want to destroy your stitch on the other side, on the right side. So you're gonna take your time and pull, and you're gonna just sew all the way around by picking up on a little loop of your stitch and into your strap. And once you get up to here, you're just gonna repeat the same thing. And once you get to the top, you're just gonna do like some in and out, sewing just like this. And you're gonna make sure that this is sewed down properly so it does not come loose. Okay, and once you think you sew enough, I think I need to sew here again. So you see, you have to make sure that it is sewed properly so that it does not come loose. Okay. Okay, so I am just gonna do the other side as well. So just as I did on this side, I'm gonna sew down this side as well, picking up on my stitches. So once I'm done sewing this down, I'll meet back with you and I'll show you how to wrap this part here, how I did it. So guys, now I have come to the end of sewing down the strap here. So you can see the back and the front of what it looks like. So I have my string here, or my yarn, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and wrap that around. And make sure when you're doing this wrap, you're not wrapping it too tight. Just wrap it so that it looks neat. And you're just basically going to continue wrapping this, and you're going to do that for the other side as well. You're going to sew it down just the way how I showed you how to do it, and then you're going to go ahead and wrap your strap so that it has this nice little look to it. So I'm going to continue doing this because it's going to take me some time to wrap this around, and once I am done, I'll meet back with you and I'll show you how to close it off. Guys, now I have come to the end of wrapping the strap here, and now what I'm going to do is I am just going to go ahead, make sure you hold this down into place, and you're going to insert your needle down, take your time and go underneath the wrapping and pull through. Okay, so now that will keep it into place. Then you're gonna go make sure that you go into the strap itself just to make sure that it is secured, and pull. And you can go as many amount of time that you want to, so that you know that it is well secured and it's not going to come loose. So I think this is good enough for me. I'm going to stop here, and now I'm just going to go ahead and fasten off, and our bag is basically done. So this is what it looks like so far. So you can see it there. So I'm going to do the measurement so you can see the length of what this bag is. So measuring from the bottom, I'm just going to fold it down. So measuring from here all the way up to here, it is measuring 16.5 inches. And if I should go to where the stroke is, it is measuring technically 18.5 inches in length. So that's an idea of what your bag is. So guys, I hope that you were able to make one of these bags on your own. Please do look in the description box for more information about this bag, so that you can have all your materials ready to make your bag. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I do appreciate it all the time. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. So I will see you in our next tutorial. Until next time, bye.